Hey everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. It's time to talk about module number 6. This should be a pretty fun module because this is the last module that we have to deal with the formal elements and the principles of design. We've covered the major ones earlier in the semester, and now we're just wrapping up the loose ends. Lectures on balance and focal point. We're going to also be looking at scale, repetition, and unity. Unity will be the basis for our journal this week. And we also have some sample exam questions because we're now 2 weeks away from the midterm exam. So you're going to be able to see some sample exam questions from past exams, and it may even be on your future exam coming up in a couple of weeks. So with that, let's head over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through module number 6. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. We're going to be in module 6. Now, up top, of course, we have our usual suspects, our video you're watching, the action plan for the week, and my office hours. Every Monday, 4 to 7 p.m. We've got 3 lectures this week, but they are very short lectures. So we've got scale, repetition, and unity. We've got our study guide, and then for the further exploration, there's only one video. It's a really great video about this guy who knew Andy Warhol, who had him sign a whole bunch of not only Campbell's soup cans, but a poster and some interview magazines as well. Now, after that, we've got a lecture on balance. We've got the study guide. We've got a lecture on emphasis and focal point. We've got the study guide. No further exploration for either of those topics. Now, upcoming, because this is literally the end of the formal elements. Now, next week, Module 7, that's going to be more of a chronological week where we cover Edward Manet and then we shift into the modern art movements, everything from Impressionism through Fauvism and Cubism up to Abstract Expressionism. And then the week after that, that will be the midterm week. So here I've got a couple sample exam questions for you. In fact, more than a couple. I've got 10 of them. And they are test questions that I've given in the past, and they may be test questions you might get in the upcoming exam. So all you have to do here, and primarily why I have this set up, is so that you can run this on your device that you're going to take the midterm with and make sure everything runs as it should. Making sure that the questions load, making sure that the images load, that there's no issues. I haven't had issues in years. There used to be problems with iPads. That seems to have been resolved. But again, you want to make sure that you do take this prior to the exam. Now, keep in mind that the midterm exam will be open starting March 9th. And this will give you an idea of how complex the questions are, what the difficulty level is. It's generally really, really easy. So, like which of the following is not one of the roles of the artist, you just click what you think is correct and you move on to the next. Now, if you have issues with the device you're going to take the exam on, you can switch to another exam, and this quiz you can retake just to make sure that the device works. You can get up to 10 points here. Again, don't stop it. Maybe you got 5 correct. Maybe you got 7 correct. Retake the quiz. Make sure you get all 10 points. It drives me crazy when I see students who quit at 3 or at 5 or whatever. So this exam or quiz, you can retake as many times as you want. Please make sure to get those 10 points. They're an easy 10 points for you. We also have one journal entry, as we have each week, and this is going to be focused on our first lecture, which contains information about unity with variety. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose an object, or maybe it's very similar objects, as your subject matter, and you're going to create a design using those objects. You have to include unity. That object has to look the same. For instance, wrenches, or looking at past student examples, we've got spools of thread, we've got spiders, butterflies, vases and flowers, and we want to include variety. We want to have that difference because that's what makes a successful composition. And you'll learn about that once again in the lecture. It's best to use colored pencils for this project, although you can use markers, crayons, etc. This is going to be turned in Module 7, and just label it Journal Entry number 5. And I'm going to jump back over here to the module real quick. I've already uploaded everything. Nothing is open yet for you, but by the end of next week, this is where you will submit your journals. Now you'll have one more journal down here to complete, but this will be open and it'll be due technically March 8th, but it will be open through the midterm week as well. So you will have until March 15th to turn in those journals. And remember, they are 60 points. Your midterm's worth 100. So keep in mind those journals do add up. And if you miss one of the journals, that's fine. Turn in the 5 that you have. They're 10 points each. So I think that is everything I need to tell you about the week. If you have any questions, please reach out, let me know, and I will be back shortly to tell you about Module 7.